G-Day 2012.
That was a great day for Georgia. Great to see the fans out there. Seemed like everybody enjoyed the game. I think there's probably a little bit
More offensive plays than I thought might be made today. But, you know, when you look at it, the defense was scoring points too. So that's what happens sometimes when defense makes good plays. It also sets up short fields for the offense and opportunities. But I thought both sides of the ball did well. I thought both teams fought hard. It was exciting. Came down to a 2-point conversion attempt to decide the winner of the game. So had a little bit of everything. Had a fake extra point for 2 when no one lined up on the other side of the ball. But that was a first for me. But it brought back memories of the first time. I think it was the very first G-Day. We had the same format as far as not to rush the kick, and then we had some defensive back. I don't know if he was a walk-on. I don't know who he was. I forgot who he was, but he came off the edge and he was going to block that extra point. And about took Billy Bennett's knee out, or somebody's, our #1 kicker's knee just got blown up. So I've seen it all in the spring game when it comes to kicking. But it was a good day, and I really enjoyed it. Had a chance to see a couple of quarters of it up in the booth. It was kind of nice to be up there. I used to call plays up there. It's a great vantage point to see what's going on. And, but I thought that the game was played pretty well. Not a whole lot of penalties. Had a couple of helmets pop off that would have forced guys to take a play off here and there. But overall, I was pretty pleased.
Mark, after 14 practices already, did you pretty much have a good understanding of what you had in terms of your team, or did anything change today that kind of jumped out at you?
Well, I think we had a pretty good grasp of what we had, but it was good to see some young men make some plays, maybe that I guess out in the open where other people can see it. You know, like Jay Rowe making that play, and you know, and even some of the defensive plays. With Meek and you know, some of the other guys, you know, we had oh goodness, he's right on the tip of my tongue. Number 56, Garrison. Sorry, Garrison, on TV. Sorry, Garrison's family. But anyway, Mr. Hustle. He was one of our guys that was hustling, you know, won the Hustle Award. You could see why he got that, just playing the way he did. And got to see our nose guards penetrate through the middle of the line and block passes. And, you know, it's very encouraging to know that we've got the edge of rushers that we have, and knowing that you can push the pocket up in the face of a quarterback and, you know, force him to throw bad balls or bat balls down, and that's going to turn into turnovers and good things happening there. So, really just, it was just good, I think, for our fans to see some of the guys make plays that normally don't get to see it every day in practice.
Mark, you were out on the field for 2 quarters. Were you trying to see something different behind the play, or today you hadn't done that before?
Well, I normally stand behind there in all of our scrimmages. I do get a good chance. I can keep the headset on so I know what plays are being called, so I kind of know what to look for. But I tend to do that in all the scrimmages, and I decided to go ahead and do it today.
How do you rate the quarterbacks behind Aaron and how they did? Quite a few changes there, especially for the
Right. Well, I thought Hudson and LeMay both did very well. Parker had some good moments as well. LeMay showed some very nice touch at times. The first squaring that he threw, or crossing route that he threw, was he hung that one in there. I was standing right behind him on that one. That was very well protected and good route concept, and he did a good job of throwing the ball on time and on the money. And then I think the fans by the end of the game got to see what we like so much about Hudson, and that even though there'll be times when either the protection breaks down or there'll be some type of a blitz where they can bring more than we can block, you know, Hudson has a really uncanny ability to stand in there and cut that ball loose under pressure and find the right guy without taking a sack. And it's one thing not to take a sack, but it's another thing to find the right guy immediately and get it on him where he can make a play and make some positive yardage. So Really liked how Hudson was handling the no huddle and putting the ball in the money under duress at times. So I thought both those guys did extremely well. And of course, we haven't really changed our thoughts on what we would like to do with Hudson this season. We definitely would like to be able to redshirt it if at all possible. But like we've been telling him all along, you've got to prepare for this season as if you're going to play, because we just don't know what the off season brings. We don't know what will happen early in the season as far as Murray. And football's a violent game. It's a very physical game, so he needs to stay on the ready.
Can you talk about I guess the play of the game? Lugie knocks the ball loose and Lowe catches it in
Yeah,
stride.
Ricky Lowe making a play.
Yeah.
It was awesome. Well, first of all, that was more contact on a quarterback that we've had all spring. I mean, I guess maybe me being up in the booth or something changed the attitude of those guys. And sometimes they get tired of getting close and a sack not getting called. And I will say this, okay? I do ask the officials to let them play as much as possible. So there's probably some of these statistics you're reading might not have happened. You might have had quarterback knockdowns, you might have had balls tipped or picked or whatever. And it's so hard to go at a quarterback and then not hit him, so you're actually whizzing by him. So it's tough for the official to judge, would he have had him, would he not? I mean, even that one pass to Erdman, that might have very easily been a sack that kind of broke open a big play there. So it's a little bit tougher on the defensive players, and they get a little frustrated when the quarterback throws the ball when they knew they could have knocked him down. So we did get a few more shots on the quarterback than we used to getting. Thankfully, no one got hurt, but that was a particular play where normally we don't want anybody touching those guys. But the ball got hit, popped up. Ricky makes a play and takes it to the house.
Mark, like the first team offensive line did a pretty good job holding tone today.
They did. I thought they did. And the other thing, too, just so everybody understands, I know in the second half, a lot of the D linemen were kind of, some of the top D linemen were set on the sideline. So some of the second teamers went to the first team, and some of the third teamers went to the second team. So in the second half, not to take away from the offense and what the offensive line did, I thought they did play well at times. There was certainly some plays where we had a lot of negative yardage plays, some third and longs, second and longs, and things of that nature. But overall, I thought the offensive line improved throughout the spring, and showed some signs of that today. I think the biggest evidence of that was the long drive that Murray had with the #1 unit. I guess it was 75-yard touchdown drive, so that's pretty impressive.
Was there any added importance to spring this year and today, just because you're going to be missing some guys at the start of next season?
I don't know. I think it was good medicine. I think today was good medicine. I think that everybody got a chance to enjoy our team and see all the wonderful young men we got out there, and watching them play their tails off for the red and black between the hedges on a beautiful day. So it was good medicine for me. I actually enjoyed the day a good bit.
You said in January that special teams after last season would be a big focus. I know it's not something that's really on display and anything like this, but do you feel like in the 15 practices you made headway?
Well, the goal in the spring for special teams was to get a lot of guys involved and do a lot of drill work that will help them, or help us, first of all, evaluate, can a guy do what we're asking him to do? Can he get off a block? Can he tackle in space? Can he protect? Up kick and those types of things. So again, we were just wanting everybody to understand that anybody and everybody and anybody can end up on a special team, a starter, second team, or whatever it is. We need all hands on deck, like I've been saying. So the drill work that we worked on, we think will give us an idea to understand who to start out on these units, who's second team on these units, and then also hopefully it gave them some experience in doing the things they're going to have to do to get the job done. But that won't be till the fall. My guess is we will have more live kicking reps in the fall than we've had in a while. Some of that is because we're we're going to be breaking in, go out in the open. Can we get, do guys drills are great, but when it gets down to it, you have to have that sensation of being able to corral a guy out there when you're covering a punt or covering a kick. And even you need to have your punts rushed full speed, and to make sure that there's no problems. I mean, and that's why the scout teams are so crucial, and why we're going to do a lot more good on good, because you need to find out if you got an issue in camp rather than the first or second game of the year. And so we'll do a lot more live kicking situations in camp than maybe since I've been here.
How do you see Richard Simmons' role in the fall?
Right. Well, Richard's proved today that he's a valuable runner. He's a valuable. He could absolutely bring a good change of pace to our running game with the physicality that he has, and he's got speed too, of course. And also we feel like he can play the fullback position. He's smart enough to. He's willing enough to, and I just don't know how that thing's going to shape up. We've got a couple guys here on campus and a young freshman coming in to see what he can do. So we'll just have to wait and see how much playing time Richard will get at the fullback position. But when you have a fullback that's played tailback, it gives you some a little bit more versatility in certain things you might call as well. So it'll be good.
Aren't you pleased with Isaiah and Malcolm's performance?
I thought they ran well. I thought they got yards after contact. They had some got some tough yards. Malcolm had it was a 3rd and 1 or 2 where he, at least 2 yards where he hit the right side. There was nothing there, and he either spun off or cut back and just kind of knocked it out and barely got the first down. I mean, those are the kind of tough yards you got to get to move the chains. And I saw Isaiah a couple times break it outside. One time I thought he might take it to the house, and he stumbled out there at the tail end of a run. I would like to see us get the ball, throwing the ball to those guys a little bit more, but we did. Of course, Horton had, I think, 6 catches out of the backfield. And I think it was good medicine for our quarterbacks to see how much mileage you can get out of just hitting the guy in the flat. If you hit him on the run, if you hit him on the move, and Horton twice. Part of the reason why we run those flare patterns where the back catches it, where he's facing the defense, is so he can make somebody miss out there in space. And a lot of times when you're going against your defense and we're in a thud situation, if you run a flare there's a defender there, you're like, well, he's down right there. But in reality, it's hard to tackle a guy out there. So it's good to see that happen in the course of a game, to give the quarterbacks more confidence to be willing to give the ball to those guys out there in the flat.
If you're tracking from that point last year, have you seen a guy improve dramatically as Malcolm has since the point that he quit the team last year until he came back to where he is right now?
I'll tell you what. I mean, that's, he's, I don't know for sure how he's going to finish, but he's on a great track right now. And it does my heart good to see guys that are struggling, that don't think they can make it, that maybe make a mistake that's foolish, and they just think it's over, and then they stick it out. They decide to do it the Georgia way, and then all of a sudden you see how good a guy can be, and then you all of a sudden see him get confidence that he never had before, and he's really blossomed for us as a football player, and as a student, and as a person, and I'm just real happy for him. But those stories happen a lot. They happen all the time, and it's what it's what keeps you coaching.
Is Isaiah making strides?
Yeah, he really is. It's not easy to be a student athlete. There's so much demands that we put on them physically, weight room, speed, and agility stuff, and then just learning the system, physically playing the game, all the practices, and then you've got academic mentors that help you organize. You've got tutoring to help you in any given class. Of course, you've got your classwork. And so there's just not, there's not that many hours in the day, and so they don't have much of a break. They're grinding, they're working hard, and it's not easy. And the more you do it, the easier it gets. The better you do it, the easier it gets. So, I mean, Isaiah is going through that process and probably going through it more publicly than most guys because he is who he is, and he, came out of high school with all the accolades and all, so everybody's just kind of focusing on him. But there's a bunch of guys going through that, and a lot of times they do it where not everybody's watching it quite so closely because they're not the number one running back in the country coming out.
Time for one more question, anybody?
How dominant are that front seven on your defense? And after watching today, they're pretty much all coming back. What do you think the biggest improvement needs to happen between now and starting day in September?
Well, I think first of all, you got to start playing the games and deciding who's dominant and who's not. We have a chance to be really good up front. We have a chance to be really good on defense, period, in my opinion. I've seen enough of us when we're all healthy and rocking and rolling, and we're going to be a tough defense to deal with. And, so everybody's just got to get in the best condition as they possibly can. And everybody's got to stay focused, and everybody's got to, get to the gate. And once everybody's up and running, I think we'll be very stout. But you got to prove it. You got to get there, and you got to prove it.
All right, gang.